At least for a year prior to this, she was talking about how they were going to get a lot of inheritance.
Tonight, disturbing allegations connected to a couple's double murder.
Court documents say the suspects actually moved into the victim's home with their children after burying them at a park.
Imagine waking up tomorrow and deciding to kill the person who let you sleep in their house. Not a break-in, not a robbery gone wrong, an invitation. Carla Murray was 39 years old. She worked at a hemp shop in Morganton, North Carolina. She was the kind of person who made sure nobody around her ever felt invisible. If you were struggling, she noticed. If you were hurting, she showed up. And on July 13, 2026, she showed up for Tasha Lewis. She let Lewis spend the night, gave her a bed, probably made her feel at home, and when Carla and her husband Raheim finally drifted off to sleep, Lewis got up, walked to the back door, and cracked it open. Just a sliver, just enough. That sliver of space is all it took for Jamar Probst to slip inside. Lewis's boyfriend, a man already out on bond for a 2008 murder, free on a $100,000 bond, free to walk into a house where two people were sleeping, and trust had already done half his work for him. He carried a .22 caliber pistol. Raheim and Carla never woke up. But here's the thing, the shooting wasn't even the most disturbing part of this story. Because what these two did next is what investigators are still trying to wrap their heads around. Most people, after committing a double murder, would panic, would run, would at least try to disappear. Probst and Lewis stayed. They cleaned. Let's picture this. Two bodies still lying in the bedroom, and these two are wiping down counters, scrubbing floors, erasing evidence like they're closing up a restaurant after the last customer leaves. Then they moved the bodies. Carla and Raheim were loaded into a Buick, Lewis's own car, and left there, in the July heat, for at least a full day. While Probst and Lewis were still inside the house, still cleaning, still planning, still breathing the same air, where two people had just been murdered. And then, they did something that separates this case from almost every other home invasion homicide I've ever covered. They unpacked. They moved in with 4 children. 4 kids, settling into beds that still has the smell of two couple who were gruesomely murdered by their parents. 4 kids, eating at a kitchen table where 2 people had been alive just hours before. 4 kids, living in a house that had just become a tomb. And Tasha Lewis? She kept using Carla's phone. She kept driving Carla's Dodge Durango. She kept pretending, day after day, that nothing had changed. Security cameras caught that Durango on July 18, heading toward Myrtle Beach, then back to Morganton on July 19, when deputies finally stopped her. Lewis had an explanation ready. She was just taking care of the dogs. Dogs, while the people who owned those dogs were rotting in a shallow grave. But Lewis wasn't just using Carla's car and phone for show, she was hunting for something specific. According to the arrest warrant, Probst had taken both victims' cell phones after the shooting. And here's where this case crosses into territory that even seasoned true crime followers rarely encounter. He used Carla and Raheim's faces to unlock them after they were dead. Post-mortem facial recognition. Think about the calculation that this requires. You have to know facial recognition exists. You have to know a dead face can still trigger it. You have to be willing to hold a corpse up to a screen, steady enough for the camera to register, calm enough to wait for the click, and then you have to know exactly what you're looking for. Probst found it. Carla's Cash App held $19,000, he told Lewis. She transferred every dollar into her own account. $19,000 drained from a dead woman's phone, unlocked with her own face, by the same woman who had slept in her house the night before. This wasn't impulse, it wasn't desperation, this was methodical, it was planned. This was cold in a way that most human beings are simply not capable of being. If you found this channel today, this is what we do here. Every case, both sides, all the evidence, no conclusions drawn before the facts earn them. Subscribe so you are here when the next development in this case drops. We do not move on until there is a final answer. Subscribe to Marin Crime Stories. When this case moves again, and it will, you will want to already be here. On July 21st, a park worker at Benfield Park in Glen Alpine noticed something off a nature trail. 2 shovels hidden under brush, not 1 shovel. 2. That detail matters. 2 people dug that grave. 2 people carried those bodies. 2 people thought they had covered their tracks. They hadn't. Burke County deputies responded. They found bedding material wrapped around human remains. The body was identified as Raheim Murray, 31 years old, dead for 8 days. And not a single person had reported him missing. 8 days. Not one phone call. Not one concerned friend. Not one family member asking where he'd gone. 4 days later, on July 25th, deputies found the second set of remains. Carla Murray, 39 years old, dead in a shallow grave in Burke County, North Carolina. This is what the arrest warrant noted as of July 23, 10 full days after the murders. Nobody had reported Raheim missing. Nobody had heard from Carla. The motorcycle hadn't been seen since July 6. Her Durango was being driven by the woman who had killed her. And her house? Her house was occupied by her killers and their 4 children. On July 24, deputies served a search warrant at the Murray residence. They found .22 caliber shell casings. They found the phones. They found the Durango. They found Tasha Lewis. The next day, they interviewed Jamar Probst and he talked. He told them about the fake fight, the excuse Lewis used to get invited over. He told them about the back door, left open like a welcome mat. He told them about the pistol, the shots fired while 2 people slept, the post-mortem phone unlocks, the Cash App transfer, the bodies in the Buick, the burial at Benfield Park, the move into the house, the 4 children sleeping in victims' beds. He laid it all out. Every detail, every decision, every moment of calculation. On July 25, both were charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of felony conspiracy. No bond, no release, no second chance. As of this recording, Jamar Probst and Tasha Lewis remain behind bars. The investigation is still active. More charges could follow. But here's what the evidence hasn't explained, and maybe never will. Those 4 children, did they know? Could they sense it? How do you tell a child that the bed they're sleeping in belonged to someone who's now buried in the ground? How do you explain the blood that was scrubbed away but never truly erased? And what about the 10 days? 10 days where nobody asked where Raheim was. 10 days where nobody checked on Carla. 10 days where 2 killers lived in a dead couple's home, drove their car, used their phone, spent their money, and nobody noticed.
If somebody was in trouble or they needed help, she was always there for them. I just can't believe what they've done.
Carla's mother, Iris Phillips, has been asking questions since the day she found out. If somebody was in trouble or they needed help, she was always there for them, she said. I just can't believe what they've done. Carla Janan Murray, 39 years old, born in Dallas, Texas, loved by her mother, Iris Phillips, remembered by coworkers who say she made everyone feel like they mattered. Raheim McLean Murray, 31 years old, of Morganton, North Carolina, a man who was building a life, one ride at a time. This is one story, one set of facts, one family still waiting for answers that may never come. If this case stayed with you, hit subscribe and join the Marin Crime Stories community. Every video, we dig deeper into the cases that don't make sense until you look closer. And I want to hear from you. What's the one detail in this case that you can't stop thinking about? The post-mortem phone unlock? The 4 children in the house? The 10 days with no missing person report? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one.